Welcome, welcome. Welcome back to the Hardcore Podcast. This is episode 41, and I'm your host, Robert Melton.
And I am your co-host, Christopher Norwood.
Guess what?
What?
We're going to talk about Star Wars today.
Star Wars Outlaws.
Specifically, 5 reasons you must play
Must.
Star Wars Outlaws.
Capitalize must play
M-U-S-T.
Seriously.
What have you been up to?
Nothing new. Nothing new over here. Just Pokemon shit, work. I would say I've been playing games, but that'd be a lie. I have not. But you know what sucks?
Damn. What?
One thing I did want to make note of. Fever blisters. Cold sores. They suck. Is there a difference between the two? Are they the same? I'm always curious.
I don't know.
But if you can see, I'm sure you can see, I got one on my lip here. And you know what it stemmed from? What I believe it stemmed from? Fucking chewing gum.
Really?
Yeah, it's always like sweets, like hard candies and sweets that always give me like cold sores and fever blisters, like on my lips.
Well, I
the
know.
Inside of my mouth.
Sometimes I get canker sores. You ever had those?
Maybe that's what they are, and I'm just calling it something different.
Well, a canker sore is like on the inside of your mouth.
Oh. Yeah. With sweets and stuff. Yeah. I'll get
and
those.
I know, like, if you eat like a lot of like acidic things, like fruits, vegetables, whatever has like an acid in it.
Does cinnamon have that acid? Because this is cinnamon gum.
I have no idea.
And I know that sounds weird, but it's got to be this gum. Because I don't really chew gum, and then I started chewing gum on like a graveyard shift, and I was like, oh, wow. I just kept like kind of chewing, lost flavor. I'd grab another piece, and then this bitch popped up, and I'm like, fuck that gum. But yeah, cinnamon tried it.
It could definitely
away.
It could definitely be like a reaction to it, for sure.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
But it got me,
Probably worth a Google.
and it sucks.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, not fun. But again, today, Star Wars Outlaws.
Hold on.
Oh,
Hold
sorry.
on.
Sorry.
I got more stuff to talk about.
Oh,
Buster.
my bad. How have you been?
Good. I wanted to talk about, because we had mentioned, well, just between you and I, we were talking about the movies. I know you had seen Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer. Yes. Incredible.
Well, Ashley and I were going to go either see that or Barbie.
Mm-hmm.
But we were like, we noticed Talk to Me was out.
Oh.
So we went and seen that.
Oh, dude.
It's really good.
Does it deserve all the hype it's been getting?
Oh, yeah.
Dude. Like, actually terrifying? Like, scary? Maybe not terrifying, but, like, eerie, creepy.
Definitely creepy and eerie. Pretty brutal.
Oh, I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's not, like, an average horror movie by any means.
Mm-hmm. That's a great thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It was a really good take. I definitely recommend it. I saw IGN gave it a 9. I'd definitely give it that.
Give it a 9?
8 or 9. Yeah.
Is it original?
Yeah.
Okay,
Definitely.
Very original. I
Good
always
acting.
Appreciate that.
It's like all Australian actors. That's Raka Raka, the YouTubers.
Mm-hmm.
They produced it or directed it, one or the other.
Very interesting.
They're Australian
contrast with like what kind of content they're known for.
Yeah. Or they could be New Zealanders. I'm not sure the difference in the accent because they're very similar. But
yeah, are they doing like another big movie too?
Yes, Street Fighter.
That's just so crazy.
Yeah,
what a resume.
I know, seriously. But yeah,
Very
I
diverse.
guess I think Ashley was telling me about this. But like, Talk to Me was in a like a film festival, and A24 saw it. And they picked them up to join their team, and that's who, like, kind of how they paved the way for them.
Oh yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, really cool.
But yeah, I want to see that because I had heard about that movie and people were raving about it or just talking about it from the trailer released like months and months and months ago.
Yeah,
I was like, oh man, I need to keep an eye out for this one.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it was already out, so
yeah,
that's why we were like, we don't really want to sit there for 3 hours. Plus, it was like the second weekend, so it'd still be busy. And it was super busy. So many people in pink also.
I don't get it. Why? Just kidding. Yeah, but no, I've heard good things about the Barbie movie. I'm sure everyone has heard fantastic things about Oppenheimer, so
yeah,
I'm here just to say, like, it's incredible. But, like, it's Christopher Nolan, It's his longest movie, I will say that. But incredible cast, incredible acting.
I was
really cool, like, story.
Yeah, I was listening to something, maybe a video, but somebody was talking about it and they were like, I don't really understand it. Like, I guess the dialogue was like so far-fetched, and they're like, I just can't comprehend anything that's going on.
I mean, there's definitely times where...
But that person's also kind of stupid. Because it's coming back to me.
I'm kind of stupid too then. Because there are times where it like goes in one ear, out the other, just because it's so...
Well, I mean, I guess if you're talking about like fucking mathematics and shit that are leading up to a fucking atom bomb.
Yeah, well, yeah, these are like some of the smartest people ever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
To be born.
I mean, created the most lethal death mechanic that we have in, you know, reality. Yeah.
So like, yeah, this movie's just full of like, you know, these characters in the movie are like some of the smartest minds.
Yeah.
You know, that we've had in existence. So yeah, there are times where when they're talking, you're just like, oh, I don't really get any of this. But it's a really smart movie, and yeah, it's solid. But again, yeah, like I see where that guy's coming from, but it's not like it's like that the whole movie. Like it's still a lot to take away.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
Would you consider Oppenheimer better than Interstellar? Because that is one of my favorite movies.
That is one of the best movies.
Yeah.
No.
No. Okay.
No, it's close. It's close, but
I feel like they're just pretty different.
Yeah,
so
Interstellar just...
That explores a lot of depth, as I'm sure Oppenheimer does, but yeah. I mean, you have all these, like, the fourth dimension and shit like that in Interstellar.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that movie just... I don't know, something about that movie just really...
That shit hits
hard.
Yeah, that shit hits.
Yeah, but I mean, this movie is incredible, but Interstellar was just so next level for me. But yeah, no, Oppenheimer... Solid movie.
Cool. Yeah, I just wanted to let you know I seen that, give you my thoughts on it.
Hell yeah. No,
Ashley and I both liked it.
I really
She can be pretty critical, so.
I want to see that. I think Kansas and I would really enjoy that.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's up y'all's alley.
So, without further ado. Star Wars. So again, 5 reasons you must play Star Wars Outlaws. Coming at you now. Robert, hit us with the intro.
Let's go. So, Star Wars Outlaws. Following the main protagonists, Kay Vess, in the timeline between Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, and Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, we receive a first-of-its-kind action-adventure open-world Star Wars video game created by none other than Ubisoft. That's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And you aren't a Jedi or a Sith in this game. Also, kind of crazy.
What?
You are, as the title of the game says, an outlaw. For fans of the original trilogy, this is a game for you. Because, you know, it's in that timeline.
Yeah, absolutely.
Star Wars Outlaws begins in the Imperial era as the Empire's chokehold is felt throughout the galaxy. The turmoil between the Sith regime... I got a little frog stuck in my throat. The turmoil between the Sith regime and the rebels allow syndicates on a smaller scale to rise to power elsewhere and seize control of their own corners of the underworld. This is the opportune time for outlaws and scoundrels alike to thrive.
Hell yeah. So, reason number 1 of why you must play Star Wars Outlaw is the world building. So, the development team focused on bringing these locations we know and love in the Star Wars universe to life, but in a very authentic and accurate way, creating mood and feel that is going to result in an incredibly immersive experience. So things like music, cinematography, opportunities, and even smaller, maybe overlooked things like particle effects, lighting, and color palette are taken advantage of and researched when creating the atmosphere throughout each locale. And I will say, opportunity, that's going to be a big theme of this game and this episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
Opportunity. I'm going to be saying that a lot. So, space, deserts, scrapyards, towns, bars, hideouts, treasure troves, and more are going to feel alive with opportunity. But in a grounded way that feels real. So I came up with like an example scenario. So this isn't something that like the developers, creators said is going to happen, but just based off like the gameplay that we've seen, the things I've heard them saying, like interviews, I could see things like this realistically happening. Things like this, or even things crazier on a more epic scale. Mm-hmm. But here's an example. So imagine speeding away from the Empire, seeing a small village in the distance, thinking, that's my plan for escape. I'll lose them there. Only to get there and realize some syndicate drama is going down and you've just interrupted an underground drug deal. Maybe a deal can be worked out for safe passage and a hideaway, or maybe you have a bounty on your head, and this is a perfect opportunity for your capture. It's scenarios like this that I believe will be scattered throughout the game that give the world an organically real vibe. With that being said, this universe is rich with things to do, scenarios to observe or interrupt, events to partake in, jobs to take, things to steal or steal back, as well as things that distract you with curiosity. What I mean by that is these worlds are so beautifully and meticulously crafted with different cultures that are reflected within biomes, creatures, plant life, weather, and society, that there will always be curiosity and mystery around every corner.
Perfectly said.
Thank you. I'm pretty proud of that. But I guess, again, which is what I mean by all that, if it wasn't obvious, is if you haven't seen the like 12 to 15 minute little gameplay like trailer teaser, go watch that, because it shows off you like hijacking some parts or something back from a syndicate that had stolen them, so you're doing a job, and it just shows you how organically the mission could go. Mm-hmm. Like, she's taking a stealthy approach, but then there's one part where she gets found, and she's like, oh, well, fuck. Blaster! Gotta go guns blazing. So she gets her creature companion, Nyx. The blaster's not doing it. She's like, hey, go grab me that rifle. Nyx goes and grabs the rifle. She's gunning, but there's just too many people. So she's like, fuck this. I gotta go. Zip lines down onto a speeder, tries to escape, goes to a town, goes to turn in the job, and then it comes to a point where she's like, all right, well, it's with the Empire, and there's a scenario that pops up where you can like bribe to like not get in trouble, or you can just like not take the bribe, but doing that then puts like a wanted screen on you, so then you have to escape. Mm-hmm. And then it shows her getting into a spaceship going to space. There's like some dog fights, then hyper speeds away, and then that's like the end of that quest completed. And those are like the 12 to 15 minutes of gameplay. I'm skipping a lot, but when you just see like how organically that all happened, there were so many different routes that she could have took. Like, what would have happened if she like wouldn't have been found and she would have stealthed through the whole thing? What would have happened if she just went guns blazing the whole time? What would happen if she did take the bribe? Like, there's just so many routes that are organic, and they just branch off to just so many different opportunities. But it's just that 12 to 15 minutes really impressed me, and I just know the game is going to be scattered with things like that. And if you really take a deep dive and just watch through that video, you'll just see little things happening on screen, things that you may not focus on, but just like people interacting with each other, giant space carriers just like kind of flying above you, going somewhere else. That would have been an example of just like a curiosity. Like, you could have just completely drove off and followed that ship to see where it went. Yep. Who knows what would have happened, what mysteries could have been found if you followed the ship. There's just so many different opportunities. And it's just, again, like I said, with like the culture, just the things they added to just these worlds, these towns, the scrapyards, the bars, the cantinas. It's just beautiful. And I think it's a really cool, I was going to say world they created, like Star Wars is well established, but it's just so authentic and real and organic. And we'll hit more on some of that stuff later on, but I just think they nailed it with building the Star Wars universe that we know and love.
And I got to say, since we're on the topic of world building, this definitely looks flawless.
Incredible.
In terms of like the Star Wars universe that we're used to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's pinpoint accurate.
We'll get more into like the comparison of the Star Wars universe we're used to and the universe that like other games show and just how, again, they contrast with each other. But an example of world building where it's like passes and fails in this game, just based off what we've seen, already like a complete pass for me. But even going to a game we love that we're still playing through, Final Fantasy 16, as good as it is, when you go to locations, how boring is it?
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's just nothing to do. There's a few people you can like interact with and get some missions. Maybe you overhear some dialogue, but it's not like alive. It doesn't feel alive, you know? Even though that world is very like dreadful, so maybe it's not supposed to feel alive, but still like shit would be happening.
Yeah.
And you just don't see that there. Where in this game, again, just that little gameplay snippet we got, like you see it everywhere. And I'm really excited for that.
Yeah. And again, on world building, like we have this concept of Star Wars that we know. And you have like these planets like Tatooine, Kashyyyk, you know, any planet you can name, whatever they're going to have in this game, they've built it from the ground up to model them after one another. But we even have some original ones.
Yes. And, you know, going back to like Kashyyyk, and I mean, you could just go on and on.
Yeah.
Hoth, Camino, Tatooine. There's just so many. Coruscant. I don't know if that's a planet, but
moon, planet, whatever.
Yeah. Like in the movies, you were just pretty much just seeing like this angle of it, this angle of it, you know. In Battlefront, you know, the OG Battlefront, even the new ones, like you see a little bit more of it, but you're just so confined to this. You know, playing a game like Jedi Fallen Order, you know, it opens it up even more. But now you have this whole fucking world to explore. It's just much more vast. So they have freedom to like kind of create and stuff. But just from what we've seen, again, it just looks like it was done in such an authentic way because they're working hand in hand with like Lucasfilms, you know, that whole Star Wars team. So like they're making sure like, hey, this is going to be like authentic, you know, down to the point.
Indeed.
But again, I can't say enough about just like how stoked I am on this game, but like just that world building and experiencing that firsthand.
Yeah.
Which will be hopefully able to experience it next year.
Yes.
No official release date, but as of right now, it's 2024.
Yeah. So that the original planet that I'm talking about, well, technically it's a moon.
Yes. Yes.
So Massive, which is the production company, or what would you call that?
What? What do you mean?
They're the ones under Ubisoft, the studio. Sorry, Massive is the studio under Ubisoft that's working on this game. They also did The Division. I don't know if you knew that.
I did look up some of the stuff they did. I remember seeing The Division. I remember seeing one of the Assassin's Creed games, I believe. I think they worked with Far Cry 3.
Yeah, I did see that.
But that was, I looked into what they did with that, and that was
they were like
multiplayer.
It was like a joint thing.
But either way, like, you know, Far Cry 3, incredible game.
Yeah.
But
so the footage that Massive showed to us of the game, they visit Tashara, which is a moon developed in collaboration with Lucasfilms, as you had said, and its capital city, Mirogana. So Tashara is the moon. Miragana is the capital of the moon.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the main hub, I suppose. The inspiration for these locations was the African savanna. And they did get into this. I don't know if you watched that video of they were going over like just the landscape and how they got.
Mm-hmm. We go into it a little later.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then you also see Kay riding a speeder to Wanta's Hope, I think it's called, which is a settlement on that same moon. So all these locations are completely original, also canon, I assume.
I would imagine. Yeah.
I mean, you could pretty much make anything in this game and kind of throw it in the Star Wars universe. You have an entirety of space to explore. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, this is just one of the points that they've made.
Yes. So all this really is just based off of like a few videos and like 15 minutes of gameplay. And we've got a lot for you in this episode. So just imagine like when the game actually launches and just all like the new stuff, all the original stuff, the culmination of all that we're going to talk about actually fucking coming together, creating something beautiful. Super excited for that. So on world building, is there anything else you wanted to say?
No, you can go ahead.
Well, I was done with world building.
Oh, me too.
So next, you're going to take it over for the second reason. And what is that reason, Robert?
Characters. So we don't have too much information on the characters, but what we do have, I find pretty fascinating.
Yeah. I would say, because again, this is the second reason why you must play it. So
why you must.
So I would just say like interesting characters, you know?
100%.
Like, and we weren't even shown much, but just what we know about these characters, like, I'm sold.
Yeah.
You know, I was sold on the world building, but like these characters feel just so real. And again, you're going to also hear me say like authentic a lot, just because like, I don't know another word for it. It just feels so like believable, you know? Like they created, you know, again, the Star Wars universe has been established for a long time, but there's just so many like little intricacies that just make this world feel so real.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I seen something that was actually like, we have like an 80-20 scale. So it's supposed to feel like 80% real, 20% alien. Which I thought was pretty cool because when you think of Star Wars, you're like alien for sure. But a lot of it is pretty accurate. You know, you got the cantina, you got the bar.
Yeah.
You got speeders as your vehicles. You know, you got these animals roaming around that are aliens, but...
Well, I think that's a big part of why people love the Star Wars universe so much is probably that 80-20% rule is probably used a lot.
Yeah.
Because Star Wars sci-fi so easily could have just gone completely sci-fi and everything's robot. We're on this metal planet, which we have those. You know, they're there, but like that's a 20%. You still get 80% of like real.
Yeah, fascinating. To start off, we have Kay Vess. So she's the protagonist, played by Humberly Gonzalez. Kay Vess is a scoundrel outlaw. Again, this is a entirely different take that we've never had really in a Star Wars video game. I'm sure we have in some capacity, but like a AAA title that's like a ton of work's being put into this. So yeah, you have a scoundrel outlaw. Massive Entertainment hasn't gotten into a lot of the specifics around Kay's circumstances, but we know she partners with a droid, Indy 5, as she takes on a risky job the studio describes as the opportunity of a lifetime. The world premiere of the trailer features another character, Jalen. So that was the guy with the kind of like the slick back hair. He was just kind of chilling. I don't know if you really paid attention to that. But he offers Kay a dangerous, risky job that guarantees she will never have to look over her shoulder again. With a bounty on her head, Kay chases her freedom in a bid to risk it all and start a new life. She seems to be just a normal human with nothing about her being special, a very different take on your average video game Star Wars character. she's immediately at a disadvantage with no force powers or Jedi skills, which is interesting as it would be easier to get immersed as if it was you who were playing this person.
And I think that's really important because that helps paint the picture of like her reasoning behind like wanting to take this job, this big opportunity just to completely change your life. Because when you're just like a lowly scoundrel and you're disadvantaged, you know, you have little to nothing to your name. You have no magical force powers, you know, again, disadvantaged. I'm sure your life is just survival.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone's like, hey, I got a job for you, you won't have to worry about any of these things ever again. Like, you're going to jump on that shit.
Of course.
You know? So that just, again, her character just helps paint a picture of, like, why this is so important.
I mean,
you know?
Just imagine this right now. Close your eyes and imagine this. You are in between episode 5 and 6 in the Star Wars universe.
Mm-hmm.
The Empire is reigning. Vader is at an all-time high.
Yes. This is the height of their power.
Yeah. The Rebel Alliance is pretty much nothing. You are a person who has to fight tooth and nail just to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Just a regular human being. You're not even an alien. You don't even have, like, good strength like a regular alien would. You know what I'm saying?
You can't even breathe underwater. Or anything.
Seriously.
You're not Argonian.
You're not, fucking, what's his name? Misa. Jar Jar.
Oh, yeah.
You can breathe underwater. But yeah, you're just this person with nothing.
You're just a weak-ass human being, normal.
No, somehow
a normie.
Somehow you have a ship. But, you know.
All right, so maybe you don't have little to nothing. You got a ship. But we don't know how she got that ship. She could have stole that shit.
Yeah, literally.
You know?
I mean, in this world, you pretty much have to do that. I mean, it's run by the fucking Empire.
Yeah.
They're all pieces of shit. Sidious. Come on. But like just put yourself there. That would be the shittiest place to live in this massive world.
Yeah. Again, every day it's just you're not thriving, you're just trying to survive.
Yeah. Where slavery exists. We've seen that countless times in Star Wars.
Yeah.
So yeah, you get this opportunity. You are going to go for it.
And I think this game is going to paint that very beautifully. I think it's just going to easily immerse you into that world.
Yeah.
We're now seeing a much darker, gritty take on Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah, I keep going back to the trailer when it has her on the wanted posters and popping up on the screen and stuff like that.
Instantly.
Yeah, instantly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's high tech as fuck. You know, it's the future.
And we'll get into the, there's a wanted system that I think is really cool.
Yeah.
We'll hit on. So, all right. So we have Kay Vess. Was there anything else on Kay?
That is pretty much all the information we have at the moment. But if you go back and watch the trailer, it's much more interesting than putting it into words. I will say that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, if you haven't seen the gameplay, watch the gameplay, because even in the 12, 15 minutes, you see a lot of her character.
Yeah.
You can already tell a lot about her, you know?
Yeah. And I will say the graphics and everything, really good looking. Makes it feel pretty realistic.
Oh, man.
So,
this game
like I
looks
said,
phenomenal.
To immerse yourself in that character is going to feel really cool.
Yes.
So, now we're on to Nyx. Nyx is the companion. So, she's got like a little companion with her. I will say, most unique way of using a pet companion, make it utilitarian and cute. Give it a use. We love a cutie with a purpose and also a stubborn side. So Nyx is a Mercal, not exactly how to pronounce that. It's an alien pet companion resembling an Exotl, which is like those like amphibian, like salamander lizards. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they look cool.
Yeah. And a dog or a cat. Some kind of like four-legged thing. Capable of many uses, such as unlocking doors, fetching ammo, weapons, fighting, apparently, I think you had mentioned, and probably many other purposes. It's also mentioned he's to be looked at as an extension of K. They grow up together and have a very strong bond.
Yeah, because an interview I was watching, they had asked one of the directors, like, hey, are we going to be able to, missions where you can control Nyx, anything like that? We've seen that in games before where you control the companion for certain special scenarios.
Yeah.
And they just responded with not no, but it was pretty much no, just saying that Nyx is just to be looked at as an extension to K.
Yeah.
Like, they are just one. It's never just K. It's Nyx and K. So that's when you see, like, you can do this with Nyx. Hey, go fetch the ammo. Go fetch this. Go distract, attack. Hit that button. That's, like, the extent of us controlling Nyx, which, not a bad thing by any means. I think it's really cool.
Oh, no,
yeah,
not
Nyx
at all.
is really neat.
I'll say the only good comparison I can really give to another game would probably be, like, 2018 God of War and Ragnarok, especially Ragnarok. How they deal with Atreus being your companion, with the arrow uses and the magic tie-in, opening up locks and shit like that.
Yeah.
Whereas this one has more versatility. You got to unlock doors, solve puzzles, which I guess Ragnarok had puzzles like that too. But yeah, fighting, gathering weapons, that's definitely newer.
Yeah.
Fetching ammo, which that's going to come in clutch.
Oh, hell yeah. I thought it was really cool when we first seen the gameplay. When it was like, hey, go bring me that rifle. That was just so neat.
Yeah.
And
aside from that, I mean, like, so I thought playing Fallen Order, BD1, which is the droid that you have, I thought that was like the cutest one so far. But this Nyx has to be the definite cutest like companion in Star Wars.
Yeah, I definitely like Nyx. I do like BD1.
Not that we have a Grogu yet in a video game, but
yeah. Oh, dude, that would be sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, can you imagine that? Just in the middle of just a firefight, you're just taking cover, just do, blasters just fucking flying, whizzing right by, and you're just like, look at Nyx grab me.
Yeah.
Go do this.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of hopes for it. I think they're going to nail it. We shall see.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Nyx is really cool.
Yep. So next we have ND5, which we had mentioned earlier. A BX commando built by the Separatists. Battle-hardened by the Clone Wars, nowadays acts as an enforcer droid in the underworld. He is partnered with K throughout the game, seemingly, and he is said to be carrying a large emotional burden.
Yeah, that was one thing that a lot of people may have missed, but during the interview, they had mentioned that. And I was like, what could this mean? What could this mean for, like, a droid?
So my takeaway is
a commando.
There's going to be a big plot point where this comes in.
Yeah, so, like, he's probably early on very mysterious.
Yeah.
It's like, is he on our side? Is he going to, like, betray me? And there's going to be a point where, like, they're opening up and we get some backstory there.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, fuck. This character has some depth.
What I will say, though, is if he was in the Clone Wars, there could be ties to, like, Obi-Wan, perhaps, like, Ahsoka, maybe Maul. Not that Maul was in the Clone Wars, but, well, I guess he was in the TV show, right? Or was that the...
No, he was in the TV show.
He was in the TV show? Yeah.
Yeah, with, like, I think the Spider Walker legs. I haven't seen it, but, like, I've seen clips.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
because there was, like, a return.
Canon survived that whole thing.
So there could be definitely some tie-ins. If he was in the Clone Wars, maybe we'll have some mention of our iconic canon characters.
Oh, we're going to get some... There's got to be some... Not necessarily visual cameos, but like nods, mentions here and there. There's got to be. There's got to be. These are such huge characters.
Yeah.
Historically huge characters in this world.
Yeah. If we don't even see them like physically, we'll probably see maybe like holograms of like Sidious or Vader, like giving orders. Yeah. Maybe you're like breaking into like the Empire and you see them.
We were jokingly talking about like just like interactions and stuff. You're like, what if we see Sidious or Vader, and I'm like, what if we don't? But like you overhear people talking. About it. Like to me, that's just as cool. So
what was the scenario you gave? Like in a cantina.
You're in a cantina, and someone's just like, "Man, fuck Vader," and the other guy's like, "Hey, man, what are you doing? You can't be talking like that." No, fuck that, man. I got nothing. They took everything from me. You know, some shit like that.
You just see some dude from the Empire stand up.
Yes, come with me.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, maybe we'll see the. Who were they? The sisters? What'd they call this? The first sister? What the fuck were those characters
Inquisitors?
called? Yeah, they were the Inquisitors, but they had like the names. Like those were their rankings,
oh,
I guess.
Yeah, I think it was like first sisters, second, something like that.
So we might see some of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, just the mention of him being in the Clone Wars ties it to more canon shit, which I love.
Yeah. And just like aesthetically. Like,
oh, dude, he
looks awesome.
He looks awesome.
Because like you're just thinking he's just like a BX Commando droid, but like he has like this trench coat. He's wearing like this fucking like belt that's just like barely hanging on his waist. You know, he's got a fucking some type of something concealed under there, but he just looks so. Just simply the trench coat and like the belt just on him. I don't know. Something's just so simple, but like badass about it.
And he survived the Clone Wars. Like he's got to be a badass.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, with all that being said, I can definitely guess what some of this emotional burden is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Either way, don't know too much, but just based off of what we know of these three characters so far, who are like the main trio. From what we've seen, like, fucking interesting.
Yeah.
You know? Because there's not a lot shown, but what they've shown, they've made it interesting. They've done it in a way to where you're like, damn, I want to fucking learn more about this.
Yeah.
You know? Which is just awesome. You know, not everyone can do that.
Yeah, no, not at all. So, yeah, those were, like, the main characters that we had seen. Definitely the most interesting. But we did seem to be Jabba the Hutt in the trailer.
Because we have a lot of the syndicates throughout this game, and, we have the Hutts being led by Jabba the Hutt, and he is in this game.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen, what were they called? Like the cryo, not really cryo, but it was like encased in metal, kind of like Han Solo was.
What is that shit called?
I can't remember.
Damn.
Yeah.
You're going to get roasted.
I know, seriously. Like one of the most iconic parts in those films.
It will come to me before this episode ends.
But yeah, you kind of see that.
Carbonite?
It might be. Could be carbonite. Yeah. That sounds right.
That just sounds right, but also maybe I'm saying part of that wrong. But either way.
Let's do a little fact check real quick.
Fact check. I get a few points if it's carbonite.
Yeah. Let's see. Carbonite, Star Wars. Yeah.
That's got to be it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Points for me.
That's cool. GG.
People are like, you fucking casual.
Loser.
Of course. That's so easy.
God, you idiot.
You're right.
Yeah.
Sorry, do you know everything about fucking Star Wars? It's so vast.
It's impossible. It's
yeah,
literally
there's no
impossible.
Fucking way. Have you read every book?
Yeah.
But have you read the comics?
Well, yeah, we got Jabba the Hutt. I have a question.
Yeah.
How much would you have to be paid to fornicate with Jabba the Hutt?
Of course you would ask that. I don't know. I think I would need to see
his genitals.
Well, I mean, obviously I'd have to see that, right? But like, how is it done? Like, how does his species? How do they have sex? You know?
Now that's a good question.
I'd probably have to hear about that or see that first, and then we can start talking money.
I don't know. I'd just to get on his good side, I'd probably do it pretty cheap.
Oh yeah,
I think so. He could wear this bussy out.
You could be like Leia. Maybe Leia was on his good side. Maybe in their culture, their society, they're just like, hey, to be a slave it's an honor.
Yeah, it's an honor.
You know, so like,
just put this on. Stand by my side.
But yeah, we get Jabba the Hutt. which is
Yeah.
cool.
Yes, we do.
Again, we haven't seen much of that, but just knowing that, again, this is a time for like outlaws, thievery, villainy. Like he's like almost like a god at that point,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to come like, maybe there's like an option depending on, you know, what syndicate you may want to ally yourself with. Which we'll get into more. Because that's a thing. You can do that.
So that's all I had
You
on
can meet Jabba.
characters.
Okay. All right. So this will definitely be our biggest reason. And arguably the most exciting.
Yeah.
I love the world building, but this aspect probably trumps it for me.
Oh, this is 100% most people's reason.
Yes, I would definitely agree. This is definitely majority. So number 3 of why you must play Star Wars Outlaws. Freedom. Freedom
For the world.
The freedom and just, because again, this is an open world game. So like most open world games, you have a lot of freedom. There's choices, there's consequences. The things you do, again, have consequences. They have rewards, they have perks. So let's get into that. So again, with being an open world game with choices and consequences, the journey and story of your KVS and my KVS won't exactly be the same with the freedom that Outlaws gives the players. My K may have a more morally honor-ingrained loyalty code to a particular syndicate, where your K may be a fuck everyone else, I do what's best for me type of character, reflected in betrayal and following that shmoney in power. I'm sure opportunity will tempt. Multiple criminal syndicates are available to ally with. You have the Hutts, the Pikes, and a new original one, the Ashiga clan. We weren't told that these were going to be the only 3. They may be, but we could see more. So again, we have the Hutts, Pikes, Ashiga clan, and maybe more. These are the 3 we know of, with the Ashiga clan being an original syndicate created for this game. We will get more into that later, the Ashiga clan, that is. So each syndicate will offer different rewards, perks, and opportunities, such as different equipment, abilities, and areas to explore. So with these syndicates, you will then have a reputation.
Yeah.
So you can either have things, maybe there's like a neutral reputation, but obviously there's like increase and decrease. So managing reputation within these factions seems to play an important role. It can affect certain events, prevent outcomes, force outcomes, as well as make quests available and unavailable.
Gives me a like Fable or Infamous vibes.
Yeah. So like obviously if I'm like by that I just mean if I'm like, hey, I'm a pike kind of guy, I'm gonna stick with the pikes if I can for the whole game. Obviously doing that, you're probably gonna miss out on the other syndicate quests.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
which
thinking, but you never know. Maybe this will just be like an open-ended game where you just keep playing. So if you eventually decide to go with another, ally with another syndicate, you then get those quests. I don't know. I just imagine those quests will kind of be lost because that's like adds to the replayability.
Exactly. Yeah, I was about to say that. It just gives you another reason to play this game again.
Pick it up. And gosh, I mean, if you can't already tell, there's so many reasons why you should just continuously play this game. There's just so many branches and paths you can take.
Yeah.
So, as well as like syndicates, there will be some customization throughout the game with K's outfits, your ships, speeders, and maybe even Nyx. So during that interview, they were asked about customization with Nyx, and they said, perhaps. So there was no yes or no.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking we may get like some color variation, some cute little outfits.
I'm sure.
Turtleneck.
I'm sure they'll definitely do it.
That's
pretty much 100%.
Yeah, that would be fucking awesome. People would lose their shit. Especially, I don't think you can. I think they did say no to customizing an Indy 5, but that would be sick.
That would be
cowboy
awesome.
hat.
Fuck
little
yeah,
sheriff.
dude.
Dude, that'd be so cool. All right, so the wanted system, what I had mentioned earlier. and what we talked about with going over briefly, like the gameplay trailer. So the wanted system kind of gives me Grand Theft Auto vibes.
Yeah.
So the wanted system will be present throughout the entire game, and level of presence will depend on how you play the game. Get more and more on the Empire's bad side, and the wanted level will rise. Maybe best to stay in their good graces? Question mark. Well, that's up to you. There is always a way to de-escalate or escape, as we've seen in the gameplay trailer that you should fucking watch if you haven't.
Yeah, I'm very curious how this system's going to work exactly. It definitely seems fun.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it's not like super OP law enforcement like fucking Cyberpunk, because that shit was deadly.
The way that they were talking, if you get really high up there on their bad side, then yes.
Sending
they
Inquisitors
made it
and
seem
shit.
like you're going to have some fucking Sith. They're sending the Sith Lords out on your ass.
Oh, man, yeah.
You just see this guy double-sided. You're just fucking dead. It doesn't even give you a chance there to fucking escape. It's just a fucking clip of you just dying. Because it's like, you can't escape me.
You get so far up there that the fucking Jedi just respawn. Even they're after you.
Oh, gosh. What is it? Force Ghost or something like that?
Yeah. Fucking Obi-Wan comes back from the dead to kill you.
Shit, I was going to say something on the
wanted system?
The wanted system, yeah. But I imagine, because I remember, I think it was talking about the Pikes, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I think they are, out of the syndicates, they are more closely knit with the Empire. So I think if you were to side more so, ally with the syndicate of the Pikes, maybe it's easier to de-escalate the wanted level from the Empire, you know?
Yeah.
But I imagine there's a fine to pay. Or a debt to pay, a favor you must do. Hey, you steal me this, we're good.
Yeah.
Type thing.
I'm definitely getting a lot of vibes that there's going to be a lot of paths that you can take.
Yeah.
So like bribe, run, kill, some miscellaneous ones. Maybe do a favor for that particular enforcement that stopped you, or what may be.
I mean, gosh, it's really just like the possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
I'm just like thinking of everything that it could possibly be. So imagine this. Like, you're just like, fuck it, I'm going to fight my way through this.
Yeah.
Me. You're killing fucking Empire. You get to like the leader in little cutscene. Stop. You know, like, if you do this, like, I will just spare me, and you're good. You know, something like that. Yeah. Or like, if you could just simply do this, or ally with the Pikes and you're clean, you're clear. You know, some shit like that.
Yeah, that would be super dope.
Really cool. Just a bunch of opportunities. That'd be neat. And lastly, for freedom. Gosh, I made it seem like we have a lot. I feel like I went through that rather quickly.
I mean, like you said, it's endless. Just think of like Star Wars and think of what you could do in Star Wars, and it's probably in some capacity within this game.
And I feel like just with like what we talked about with like the world building, you can just see just like
it's a new Avatar.
This is world bend. Oh my gosh, that's OP. Just how like open this world is, how much attention to detail that they took. There's just, again, endless. There's just so much you can do. It is an open world game, so obviously there's going to be a lot of freedom and stuff. Lastly, and we couldn't do this episode without talking about this. Space
This
is
huge.
Also your sandbox to explore. Space in your adventure will hold many dogfights, both on an intimate and epic scale. That's a quote. Mysteries and many surprises. So, are we talking like, hey, intimate dogfight, 2 or 3, okay.
Yeah.
Epic level, are we talking like Star Destroyers? Escape. I mean, that just sounds
I didn't even
crazy
think about
big,
something like that.
But like, is that what we're talking? Like, your wanted level is that high? It's peaked. Like they're sending like, hey, this is our opportunity to get this person, get the Star Destroyer, send it.
Yeah.
Are you escaping that bitch? I don't know. Like, we don't know. But it's a possibility.
Damn, that's cool. Yeah, I was pretty stoked to see that you were in kind of control to just like light speed out of somewhere and just end up in a whole different fucking area.
Yeah, very
That's cool.
I'm sure that if you're in space, you can kind of do it when you want, where you want, but, you know, it's not like it's like, all right, 2 seconds, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, you probably can't take damage for a certain amount of time or something.
Oh, yeah,
or
of
maybe
course.
there can't be certain ships around you. I'm sure there's some.
There has to be some stipulation.
Yeah, stipulation. But still, that's sick.
Yeah, dude, this is like the first game we've kind of gotten that.
Oh, yeah, by far.
Like you have fucking space exploration in Star Wars finally.
Yeah. This
it's not just a dogfight.
Yeah, if you can't tell, this game it's a huge deal.
Yeah.
Like if you speak with anybody who's a big Star Wars fan who also just happens to like games, like, hey, what do you want from a Star Wars game? Open world. I want to, kind of play my own adventure, which I guess we've seen like Knights of the Old Republic, but just in comparison, you're so limited.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
that's
limited.
Incredibly limited.
In comparison, that's a linear game.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Like this is the game that every Star Wars fan / video game fan has like wanted. So this is a big deal.
Well,
so
Battlefront is open world. You can go to all the planets.
Hey, like I'm not even going to say anything on that just because I love fucking Battlefront. It's not open world.
No.
But I'm not going to talk shit on Battlefront.
Nah, you can't. That's a
great
absolutely
game. Well, OG Battlefront.
Yes.
I'm not going to talk shit on OG 1 or 2.
1 and 2.
But yes, reason number 3 why you must play this game, the freedom. There's going to be so much of it. Like you were literally going to, like you were playing as K-Vess, but again, your K-Vess is going to be very different from my K-Vess.
Yes.
Which brings up the question, it's going to be interesting if we happen to see K-Vess in different media. Like who is K-Vess's character? Because again, my K-Vess, I have a sense of honor. I'm loyal. Like yours is just like, I'm just doing whatever I want for me.
Yeah.
I'm looking out for me and Nyx. So like
that's a good question.
On the other side of things, like who is K-Vess? Like
yeah.
I just think that's interesting.
That is interesting.
I wonder if that's something it has to be something they've thought of,
Yeah.
Because obviously her story, like her, how she was brought up, like all that's solidified.
Yeah.
But again, playing through this game, like your journey is going to be very different to my journey. The routes you took are going to be very different from the routes I took. So, yeah, you have some like personality traits that are going to be different depending on, who's playing.
Yeah. I mean, if we're being honest, we definitely need some more anti-villains for Star Wars and like an actual like show about an anti-villain.
Yeah.
We don't need another Obi-Wan. We don't need another fucking something following a protagonist on the rebel side.
We need the Punisher of Star Wars.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes, we need the Punisher of Star Wars. And with me saying that, I will say, like, I like to play more of like a loyal kind of character, find a good syndicate that like is decent, and like I'll stick with them. But if they're just like out here just like killing innocents or something, like I may try, I usually take like the good route.
I'm usually like that too. Yeah.
Yeah. But if they were doing that, for example, I'd maybe try and go elsewhere. But I mean, who's to say that like the other syndicates just aren't as bad?
Yeah.
At that point, it's like, what's the lesser evil? Interesting stuff. But yes, reason number 3 of why you must play freedom.
Freedom for the world universe.
So number 4.
The most fleshed out video game universe.
And that's bold.
That is very bold.
That is bold, but I think it's more than fair.
Yeah. So listen to this. With nearly 50 years of Star Wars,
that's crazy.
46 years since the first movie dropped.
Damn.
It is by far the most fleshed out franchise that video games has at this point. With the countless numbers of media, including films, television series, comics, books, video games, etc., you name it,
Mm-hmm.
it's got Star Wars on it. All of these adding to the lore, be it non-canon or even canon. And this first-person Star Wars game is going to light speed to take that advantage.
Absolutely. So I'm sure some people hear that and they're just like, oh, that's unfair. Like, it's Star Wars universe. It's not like the video game universe, but like it's a video game and it has the most fleshed out. You know, it's the most fleshed out of any video game universe.
Yeah, and me and you were talking about this before the show. And we were trying to actually think about this. Like, is there another video game that has a more vast universe than Star Wars? And we don't think so. Like The Elder Scrolls, massive, but not nearly as much lore or media as Star Wars. Like, there's so much Star Wars.
We only had to think about it for like 2 or 3 minutes to like realize like, there's literally nothing. Like,
God of War,
Star
pretty
Wars,
big, nothing
like,
even comparison.
No, dude, no. I mean, Elder Scrolls is
The Legend of Zelda, not even close.
Oh, hell no. Not even close at all. Like, nothing just comes even slightly close.
The Witcher, that even has books. Like, those are books first. And now you have a TV show, and you have the video games that are long as fuck, but it's still not even close to the amount that Star Wars has.
No.
You got shit going back to the Old Republic, the High Republic, the current fucking movies.
Is it like the New Republic? Isn't that like
the New Republic? You got the MMO shit.
Yeah, I mean you have hundreds, if not thousands, of years worth of shit.
I mean, it's literally thousands of years of lore.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I just don't see how you can really argue it. Like, yes, it is Star Wars, but like, this is a Star Wars game. This is the most fleshed out video game universe.
Yeah.
Number 4, why you must play this game.
Seriously, even if you go as far to go to Lord of the Rings, not even that can touch this.
Nah, man, that's like 5, 6, 7 books maybe.
Right.
Dude, you have hundreds of Star Wars books.
I know.
Hundreds of Star Wars books, a lot of them probably telling the same story. But like the canon ones, they're just fleshing it out even more.
That's what we mean by fleshed out. Like, you have intricate details in all of this media that lead up to these canon events.
Yeah.
So, I mean, theoretically, most fleshed out video game universe to exist is the Star Wars universe.
Yeah. And,
and this game adds to that tenfold with a fucking open world system.
Yeah. So perfect segue into number 5. Like you just said, adding to the universe. So adding to the Star Wars universe. This game not only fleshes things out even more, it adds to it. Like you had mentioned early on, Tashara, like this original moon that was created for this game. We have the Ashiga clan that I mentioned earlier. Like, that was an original syndicate that was created for this game. Hand in hand with like Lucasfilms, the main Star Wars teams. So they worked with them just to make sure it's authentic and real and part of the, really canon part of the Star Wars universe. Like, it makes sense in the Star Wars universe. Yeah. So, gameplay trailer featured Tashara, like you'd said, a new moon the team created, which has a biome inspired by the savanna of Tanzania in East Africa, and acts as a hive for underworld activities. So again, if you watch the 12 to 15 minutes worth of the gameplay, that's what you'll be seeing. That's where all that is taking place of. As well as the new syndicate that was mentioned earlier. This syndicate was created for this game, the Ashiga clan, which interestingly contrasts with the other syndicate since their objective is for the collective, not a leader or mob boss. So that's got to be interesting for like Kay to come across the Ashiga clan because, again, this dark, gritty world, it's all about survival and take for me, Like, even the other syndicates, it's like, hey, we do this for Jabba, But whereas the Ashiga clan is like, hey, we're doing this for all of us.
Yeah.
So I feel like it may just be like easier to lean with them. But again, you can kind of take whichever route you want.
Yeah, so it's got like, I feel like it's like a good path, a bad path, and like the neutral.
Maybe neutral, a little bit of bad, a little bit of good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Ashika clan, interestingly in contrast with the other syndicate, set their objectives for the collective, not a leader or mob boss. The Ashika clan is primarily of the Melito race, and this clan resides in Kijimi, which is a planet shown off in Rise of Skywalker, but not much outside of the movie. Outlaws will not only show us more of this planet, but a whole new perspective during a different era.
So that's what we're saying, adding to the universe and the canon. So you can go back after playing this game, watch that movie, and you're just going to be like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
This is even cooler.
Like, watching that movie, obviously
it might be tolerable.
Obviously, they used that movie as a resource. Like, hey, this is what this area looks like. These are the biomes. Like, this is kind of the color palette we need to use. But just seeing that, like, brought to life, like, holy cow, like, this is the rest of the planet. Holy shit, like, I feel like this would look like this because this looked like this, or this would interact with this because this is how this works. You know, they've made everything just like organic and real. And apparently, there are already investigations happening with how this game can be linked with other canon content like shows, comics, and more. I can't remember if you already said that, but just a cool little fact that they had thrown out there during the interview that I'd watched.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the thing I said about Indy 5, about being in like the Clone Wars, that kind of is like that link where they can introduce him into these other sorts of media, which is going to be fucking sweet if they do, because he looks cool as shit. And I'm excited to get to really actually know that character.
Yeah, because I mean, there could be a part in the story where they go through like Indy's like database or something, and they see a fucking clip, and it shows this big iconic character. You know, like, oh fuck, he was there. Yeah, like he's seen him. He's seen Obi, or you know, whoever.
He bested General Grievous. Like, how fucking cool would that be?
He killed General. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, dude, what if it was a fucking dude? Imagine this. It's a fucking clip, and he's just like outside, and he just sees. And it's fucking Mace Windu, who was just fucking like thrown out.
Oh, dude.
And he's still breathing, and he just like...
he kills
Mace Windu. Oh,
that would actually be so
epic. And that's
epic.
the guilt, the burden he's been dealing with.
Yeah.
I killed a Jedi Master.
And he has the lightsaber.
Oh my god.
The only purple lightsaber. That'd be so sick.
That would be. That will more than likely not happen. But who knows? I mean, literally, like, only they know. Yeah.
But to go with what you said about like the African savannah, they're like building this entire moon world. What was it called? Tashara. Yeah, Tashara. It looks fucking sick, dude. And it's like a wind planet. It's like,
yes,
there's a lot of wind there. You can see like the granules of the sand just fucking moving.
Yeah, like the particles, just like the clumps of like earth just rolling.
Bunch of kites set up.
Kites, yes. That was such a small thing, but I was like, wow, that's so cool. Yeah. Like how that's such a small detail that a lot of people will miss. But like, again, that's just so real. That just makes sense with like the way this moon, you know, is.
Even down to the new alien animals that they have. They're structured after the biome that they've created. So there's like a reason that they look the way that they do.
Oh, yeah. Because I'm sure over time they've, you know,
adapted.
Whether you want to say evolved, like they've adapted with the weather, like the way this moon just like interacts, just the heat, the wind, you know, just everything, all that. And again, dude, if like you were to give us the job to like create a world, it would just be so fucking surface level, you know?
Yeah.
But they just went into everything. The culture, just, you know, finding inspiration all over the world and just, all right, well, if we have this, then this would react this way because you have this. They would just dig so deep into that. And again, this is based off of fucking 12 to 15 minutes of gameplay that we've seen. Just like an interview with a few questions. Like, this is going to be such a massive game. There's going to be so much more like originality, like just like original ideas that they've had. Again, just fleshing out everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be so vast and awesome. This is going to be such an immersive game.
You know why I think
it's going to be incredible.
Yes.
You must play this game.
You must play this game.
Dude, this is going to be a game changer. So, real quick, fun fact. For whatever reason, when we were making this video, we thought this game was coming out this year. This was going to be 5 reasons why this game will be Game of the Year.
Yeah.
But, we had to change that. So, 5 reasons why you must play this. But I guarantee if it came out this year, I think it probably would have been.
It's going to be very, very close.
Yeah, and we've had some huge games come out this year.
This is like one of the biggest years in gaming.
Massive games. But like, let's just say it did come out. Again, we've had huge, amazing games come out this year. Let's say this game did come out. Like, just the love and thought and just how meticulous they were in making this game. Like, I could easily see this being Game of the Year.
Yeah, 100%. You know why? Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, we loved, shit, I'm blanking. What was the Harry Potter game?
Hogwarts Legacy.
Hogwarts Legacy. We fucking loved that game.
Yeah.
Like, they did an amazing job.
Yeah.
But, like, what we really loved was just them, like, recreating and building Hogwarts.
Yeah.
And even going through that, we were like, wow, this is fucking nuts. They're doing that with a whole universe.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
an entire
ain't it?
universe.
Like, again, loved Hogwarts Legacy.
You're talking about like a forest, a couple towns, and a castle.
Yeah, I mean,
which is massive. Don't get me wrong.
It was bigger than I thought it would be.
Yes,
to be fair.
Yes,
and it was an amazing game. They did a wonderful job, but we were so impressed with that. They are doing that, but on a much more grand scale.
And you know why I think they're putting so much into this video game? Ubisoft.
Why?
For one, Ubisoft needs this. For two, this is a studio with a couple big name works, like The Division, I guess Far Cry 3 they worked on, and maybe an Assassin's Creed.
One of the Assassin's Creed. I don't know what they worked on exactly, but I think it was one of the Assassin's Creed games.
But this is, I think, the first studio to get their hands on the Star Wars brand that is not Electronic Arts. And people fucking hate EA for good reason. Yeah. We don't need their microtransaction bullshit. Yeah. So this studio is making this their baby. Yes. I mean, you have your hands on one of the biggest franchises in the world.
Oh, easily.
And you get to cater to this.
Yes.
You get to raise this as your own.
Yes. So I'm glad you said that. So EA Star Wars games are pretty much the vibe I get. I haven't really played many of them because, again, it's just like it's just greedy.
Yeah.
They're just like, hey, let's make this game this way. It's really cool, but like we will get a lot of people to pay for this. We'll make some money.
Oh yeah.
But you watch the interviews, you hear them talk about this game. This is a game being made by Star Wars fans for Star Wars fans.
Yeah, literally.
And I think that's the huge difference. These guys, like, during the interview, they're, like, getting giddy just, like, talking about this. Like, he was simply just talking about how for, actually something we didn't mention, for Jabba the Hutt in this game, it's being, like, voice acted by the original Jabba the Hutt voice actor. And he was just, like, getting giddy just talking about that. He just wanted to feed him lines like, hey, can you just, like, keep doing this? Keep doing this? Like, this is my childhood.
Yeah, and I think one of the directors mentioned that he was like, as a child, he was just playing with Star Wars toys.
Yes.
And he would make up his own scenarios with it. And now he can literally do that.
Yeah. Like, dude, you went from that to, like, you're building the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
Like, you are helping craft this universe you are obsessed and in love with. And, again, just if we haven't sold that enough, like, it shows. It shows. You have to watch the videos.
Yeah.
Watch that video.
It's really good.
It's amazing. And it's It's a game changer. I just, like, everything we said is amazing. Just take your time, you know, as long as the performance is there, you know, and this game just doesn't, like, shit on every console, PC, run like shit. Like, it will be a masterpiece.
Oh, yeah. I can almost guarantee
maybe
that.
bold, we barely have anything. We're not getting the game till next year, but yes, I can pretty much guarantee that.
Yeah.
And again, that's why you must play this game.
You must play this game.
And I hope that our 5 reasons sold you.
So, Ubisoft, sponsor this podcast.
No. Massive, sure, but Ubisoft, no. Here we are doing another Assassin's Creed.
Honestly, fair point. Fair point.
Oh, gosh.
So I just sunk
so
3,000 hours in Assassin's Creed.
Valhalla?
What? No, what's something they're going to make in the future? Assassin's Creed Civil War, does that exist?
Warlord. It's like a samurai game.
Yeah.
Which would be sick, though.
That would actually be pretty dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were our 5 reasons you must play.
Yeah.
And now I'm kind of pissed that we did it because we have to wait a fucking long time before this game comes out.
Yeah.
Because now I'm excited for it.
I know. Like, it was fun. It's always fun, like, doing a video like this and just, like, digging into the research and just getting excited. But the difference here is, like, we're getting excited about something we're not getting for at least another year.
Yeah.
Year-ish, you know. I guess it could come out, like, early next year, but...
Quite unfortunate.
But yeah, either way, going to be worth the wait. We still have, like, games coming, though. You know, we got stuff to keep us occupied.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got plenty. I'm still playing Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah, me too. And you're much further than me.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Yes, I am. But yeah, anything else?
That's all I got.
All right. Well, again, that's been 5 reasons why you must play Star Wars Outlaws when it comes out next year. Sorry if this is, like, too early. Get excited. We're going to get you all excited, and y'all are going to have to wait. You can get pissed at us.
Yeah.
We're just trying to get you excited, you know? Just, I'm sure most people have heard about it, but just on the slight chance that you're viewing this and you haven't, again, watch it and get excited. Like, this is going to be a game changer. This is going to be an incredible game, and I hope moving, you know, forward and just gaming, like, obviously other games won't have this massive universe to build off of, but moving forward, you know, like, can you imagine this being the standard of game?
Oh, dude, that'd be insane.
That would be absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Maybe a little overwhelming at times if every game was like this.
Yeah.
You know? But, like, it would still be something very special.
Oh, yeah.
You know. So, but yeah, this has been episode 41.
And this has been the Hardcore Podcast.
Yeah. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Lisa, wanna play Star Wars Outlaws?
I wish I knew how, like...
Ice cream's so good.
I was going to say, I wish I knew I could remember how, like, Jabba the Hutt speaks.
I don't know.
Sounded right to me.
Love you.
Ooh.